Look, let me just give you my minimum criteria for a church. Okay. My minimum criteria is that they have to be preaching the King James Bible.
Amen.
I mean, that's a minimum. I will not set foot in a church that does not preach the King James Bible. Let me be clear on that. I will not go there. Okay? And then they have to be preaching salvation by faith alone. That's it. That's the minimum criteria. And then, my other minimum criteria is that they're soul winning. Okay. But you know what? Here's the thing. If I were in an area where all I could find was just King James Bible and salvation by faith, I'd go there. I'd start the soul winning. I'd do the soul winning. I'd try to get things going with the soul winning. But I wouldn't stay home and just not go to church. Now, look, if the criteria is King James Bible and salvation by faith alone, how many churches in the Phoenix area fit that bill of being King James and salvation by faith? You know what? I guarantee you that you could at least find 15 churches in this area. And that's just, I'm just throwing that out very conservative. Probably many more. I could list for you, personally, off the top of my head, 15 churches in the Phoenix area that I know of that are King James and that preach salvation by faith. You're like, well, good, because I need to get out of here. Well, come see me after the service. I'll set you up with them. You've got options. Don't feel like you have to come here. There's plenty of options. But look, when the movie that we produced After the Tribulation, I mailed it out. I mailed one out to every independent fundamental Baptist in Arizona. Okay, that was like 90 DVDs of independent fundamental Baptists in Arizona that I mailed that to. And you know what? Half of them were in Phoenix. There were 40-some independent Baptist churches in the Phoenix area. Now, not all of them are King James. Not all of them are preaching salvation by faith alone. Some of them have, heresy and everything. But out of 40, let me tell you, I'm sure there's at least 15 of them. There's probably 30 of them are King James and salvation by faith. I don't know. Maybe, whatever. But look, I'm just telling you that don't expect me to believe. If in Phoenix, Arizona, which is not the Bible Belt, which is not a Baptist area, which is an area that's predominantly Catholic and Mormon. The biggest religions in this area, Tempe is Catholicism, Mesa is Mormonism. And in Phoenix, it's probably Catholicism again. And so this is not a heavily Baptist area in the United States by any stretch of the imagination. Why is it that there are 40 independent Baptist churches? Why is it that there are churches that are King James and salvation by faith? Yeah, okay, they preach a lot of other stuff that isn't quite right. But you know what? I'm not saying it's ideal, but it's better than staying home, is what I'm saying. Anybody listening? Yeah. Go to church. And you know what? You're sitting at home because there's no good church in your area. Well, here's what I say, and I will stand on this. I will not back down on this. And I never give anyone a dispensation, like I have the power to do that anyway. Like they have to justify themselves to me anyway. But I never absolve anyone who comes to me saying, I can't find a church in my area. I'm not going to say, oh, well, that's okay for you. Oh, you don't go to church because there's no good... Well, then you're okay. No, I always tell people, look, you need to find the best one in your area and go there. And if there's nothing that's even decent, then you need to drive farther. And if there's nothing decent from a farther drive, then you have to move. Amen. It's that simple because you must go to church. And I have way more respect for somebody who goes to a lame independent Baptist church than somebody who just doesn't go to church at all. And is just right on doctrinally. Yeah, but you're not serving God. Because service for God in the New Testament takes place predominantly in the church. The church is the one that sends you out soul winning. The church is the one where most of the work gets done. But they say there's no good church in my area. Then move. And I can't move. Well, okay, Abraham moved. It wasn't easy for him. He picked up everything and left Ur of the Chaldees. And I'm not saying that's ideal. Obviously, there should be a good church in every area. But you know what? I find that in major cities in America, there are churches there that you can go to that are fine. Not saying it's the best church that you've just been dying to go to your whole life, but it's fine. And even in most towns and villages in the United States, within a drive, you're going to find something tolerable to go to. And if you can't, then move. I'm not going to condone of it. I do not condone of not going to church.